ask, yun bang ating magre-record nung ating meet today is, sorry, let me take this. Sorry. Yung naka-prepare na po ba? Yung, sorry. Sorry, let me just take this. Ready na po ba yung magre-record ng ating meet for today? Okay lang?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, very good. So once na okay na yung ating recording, as soon as possible or as soon as pwede, paki-upload na lang sa ating sa ating classroom para ma-access ng lahat para ma-access ko din Okay? Very good. Okay. So, let's start with our discussion for today. Ang agenda naman natin today is to discuss yung ating introduction, so 1.0, and yung ating 2.1, yung ating discussion ng ating rectilinear kinematics. So kasama niyon, ma-discuss na din natin yung ating parameters, yung ating parameters ng ating analysis of motion, ma-derive natin, ma-express natin yung ating different equations of motion natin, yung ating fundamental equations. Yun yung ating nilalayon. Okay? So, let's start. So, yun po ba ang akin ding mga sinusulat dito sa ating screen ay visible din naman po ba sa lahat? Okay lang? Okay, very good. So, let's start with the introduction. Mechanics. Mechanics, sabi natin, is a branch of physical sciences that is concerned with the state of rest or motion of bodies subjected to the action of forces. Di ba na-discuss natin yan nung ating introduction pa lang, nung nasa syllabus tayo, a little bit of a heads up sa ating mga mapapag-usapan. Nasabi natin na mechanics is a branch of physical sciences natin. Under engineering mechanics, isulat lang ulit natin engineering mechanics. Na under engineering mechanics natin, nandito yung ating dalawang branches naman. Statics as well as dynamics. Statics and dynamics. Okay? Now, going back, para may visual aids naman tayo this time. Ano ba yung mga napag-usapan natin sa statics? Usually, yung ating horizontal bar, Yung ating horizontal bar that is pin supported at one side, tapos roller supported naman on the other. Meron tayo ditong pin connection. Sorry. Di ba kapag ganitong horizontal bar, tapos ay nagkaroon tayo ng applied load F given at this particular distance along dito sa ating bar. Di ba ang ating purpose dito is to look for the reaction forces. Reaction forces natin, so kapag ganitong pin connection, di ba, ang assumption natin, meron tayo ditong dalawang forces. Yung direction niya is yet to be confirmed, pero yung assumption natin is ganito muna. So if this is point A, let's say this is A sub X and this is A sub Y. Tapos kapag ka-roller connection naman siya, di ba, usually yung isa lang na force natin dito, perpendicular to that of the whole length nitong ating bar natin na to. So B sub Y, kung ito ay yung point B dito sa ating bar. Now, clear po ba sa atin ito? Naaalala po ba? Naaalala po ba natin itong ganitong mga ginagawa natin sa ating So, ito yung ating usually hinahanap. Kapag meron tayong applied force F, what are the reaction forces natin? Yung mga reaction forces natin. Right? To maintain static equilibrium. Now, how dynamics naman differs is, ganito usually yung figure natin dyan. This is just one example, pero napakadami ng nagva-vary yung ating mga, tawag dito, yung ating mga samples na pwede nating makuha dito. So, if example, meron tayo ditong slope. Meron tayo ditong plane surface, projected theta angle, yung angle, projected with the angle theta along the horizontal natin. So ito yung ating plane surface. Let's say meron tayo ditong object, particularly a crate. Crate yan ha. Ano, meron tayong crate. Let's say dito naman nagkaroon tayo ng applied force F. Ano, dito hindi na lang tayo concerned with the reaction forces. Concerned na din tayo with the motion dito. Ano, now granted that the force natin na to na para maitulak itong ating crate na to along this non-frictionless surface overcomes the coefficient of static friction given to us by this rough surface. Ano, makakagalaw siya at yung kanyang corresponding motion is at the same direction as that of the net force. Kung ito yung net force natin, ano? So ito yung kanyang magiging motion attributed to by its velocity as well as its acceleration. Ano? Now, hindi lang tayo concerned sa reaction forces natin kasi yes, may reaction forces natin tayo dito. Ano? Of course, kung non-frictionless surface tayo dito, meron tayo ditong frictional force. The frictional force natin is the force that resists the direction of motion. It resists the motion natin. Ano? Bukod sa ating frictional force, ano? Granted na this crate is of definite size, definite dimension, definite volume, and definite mass, meron din tayong weight. Kasi if we're talking about forces, hindi natin pwedeng kalimutan yung weight. Weight is a force. Kaya yung weight natin is in Newton. Ano? Common mistake, ano yung weight mo? Sasabihin mo, ito in pounds, ito in kilogram. That is your mass. Weight is your force of the pull of gravity, gravitational force. Ano, at kapag ka ang force, ang kanyang unit ay Newton. Kaya yung ating weight is in mass times our acceleration due to gravity. Kaya kapag ka SI, ang unit natin dyan, kilogram, meter per second squared, which is Newton. Ano? Okay? Tama po ba? Okay lang. Okay lang tayo doon? Nare-recall naman natin. Ano? Now, knowing na ito yung mga reaction forces natin dyan, hindi na lang yung reaction forces kasi dito yung ating ite-take into consideration. Kasama na din dyan yung ating mga parameters natin for accounting for yung ating motion. Ito na nga yung ating velocity, acceleration, kasama na din yung ating displacement. Ano, yung displacement natin, how much it moved during that journey. Okay, so knowing na okay na tayo sa ating dynamics, punta naman tayo sa branches ng dynamics natin. Kasi under dynamics, masasubcategorize pa natin siya sa dalawang part. Dito natin may ipasok yung kinematics as well as kinetics. Kinematics natin, it describes the motion of points, objects, and system of group of objects without reference of the causes of motion. Sa isahin natin yun, bigyan natin ng meaning yung kinematics natin na yun. Kasi kinematics natin is basically yung ating geometry of motion. Right? Tapos, ano pa yung ating pag-uusapan dyan? Yung forces natin dito, hindi pa natin siya kino-consider. Kaya naman yung ating parameters lang dito na tinitake into account is yung ating displacement S, velocity V, acceleration A, as well as the time elapsed. Lagi tayong may time kasi yung ating motion, it is all measured along an elapsed time. Okay? So yun yung ating kinematics. Basically, it is the analysis of motion without the consideration of the causes of motion, i.e. the forces. Ano po? Yun lang yun. Now, nabanggit dito, describes the motion of points, objects, system of group of objects. Now, it varies lang kung ano yung ina-analyze natin. Let's say meron ako ditong horizontal axis. This is my point O, point of origin, and this is point A. Nagkaroon ako ng motion for my object right here from point O to point A, positive displacement. Now, yung kung ano yung pinag-uusapan natin, yun yung ating point, particle, object, nag-iiba-iba lang siya. Pwede siyang point, a single point. Let's say from point O to point A. Pwede namang siya ay object, definite object, or kung ano man yung ating object na yun. Let's say, yung kagayang pinag-usapan natin dito, meron tayong crate. Pwedeng ito ay, let's say, kotse. Kotse yan, ha? Pwedeng kotse. And anything in between yung ating mga pinag-uusapan na yun. Basta object na gumagalaw. Paano naman pag system of group of objects? Ito naman ay basically objects din siya pero hindi na lang isa yung gumagalaw. Mas mapapag-usapan natin yan pag nandun na tayo sa analysis of motion or yung ating tawag dito, motion of several particles. Nandun na tayo sa ating dependent motion at dependent motion analysis tsaka yung ating relative motion analysis. So basically ito yung ating kinematics. Paano naman po pagdating natin sa kinetics? Kinetics naman is the study of the relations existing between the forces acting on the body, the mass of the body, and the motion of the body. So basically yung kinetics natin, it uses the basic principle natin of Newton's second law of motion. Where in its equation form, sabi natin sa Newton's second law of motion natin, right? The summation of forces is equal to the mass times the acceleration. Sabi nga natin, kinetics gives us the relations existing between the forces acting on the body. Take note of the plural tayo dito forces. Kasi pwedeng system of forces natin siya. Particularly yung pinag-uusapan natin dyan, the net force. Kasi maaaring iba't ibang forces yung nag-a-act sa isang object natin. Pero laging yung net force, yung ating ite-take into consideration. And also, the net force, it is at the same direction as that of the motion. Yun yung lagi yung tatandaan. Hindi naman mangyayari na ang net force nito pakaliwa pero yung motion niya pakanan. It doesn't make sense. Kasi kung ang net force mo patulak, papunta sa kaliwa, imposible na gagalaw yung object mo pakanan. Kasi otherwise, yung net force mo pakanan din siya. Kung pasaan nga yung direction ng motion mo. Right? Now, we'll discuss more on that kapag nandun na tayo sa ating kinetics. Now, bukod dito, kung i-differentiate natin siya sa kinetics natin, dito na natin tinitake into consideration yung ating forces. So hindi na lang itong ating displacement, velocity, acceleration, as well as time yung ating pag-uusapan, isasama na natin dito yung forces. At yung iba't ibang derivatives niya, yung kung ano-ano, yung iba't iba nating principles na makukuha natin from yung sa ating summation of forces equals to the mass times acceleration. Nandyan yung ating impulse, momentum, linear impulse and momentum, angular impulse and momentum, work, energy, power, efficiency, doon makukuha na natin lahat yon. So hindi na lang siya limited dito sa ating basic principle, basic parameters. Dadami na siya. And again, dito tayo magsisimula sa basic, sa kinematics. So, hindi muna natin isasama yung forces. At kapag na-master na natin yung kinematics, saka natin siya lalapatan nitong ating forces. Kinetics na tayo. Okay? Clear tayo doon? Okay lang tayo so far? Nakakasunod pa naman. Again, ito naman na introduction pa lang natin. We'll polish more dito sa ating mga pinag-uusapan nito once na nandun na tayo sa mismong topic natin. But then again, magsisimula tayo with our basics. So isulat lang natin ulit yan Engineering Mechanics. Tapos under Engineering Mechanics, Statics, Dynamics. Tapos under Dynamics, Kinematics, at kinetics. Kasi under this kinetics, under these subcategories, masasubcategorize pa natin siya. Now this is analysis niya based on kung ano yung parameters natin na pinag-uusapan. So dito wala pang forces. Dito may forces na. Pero hindi lang yon yung analysis natin, hindi lang doon iikot. Kasi iikot din siya depending on the type of motion na meron tayo. Dito papasok yung ating rectilinear motion. As well as curvilinear motion. So rectilinear motion, under kinematics, rectilinear kinematics. Paano naman pag curved path na yung dinaaran niya? So kinematics, wala pa ring forces pero curved path na yung pinag-uusapan natin. Same goes with kinetics kapag ka nag-apply na tayo ng forces. Ganun din. Rectilinear rectilinear motion at curvilinear motion. Ano po? Ganun yung ating yung sequence ng mga mapapag-usapan natin dito. And since yung ating next topic is rectilinear kinematics, we'll start with the basics. Nandito muna tayo. Rectilinear motion and kinematics natin under rectilinear motion. So, wala pa tayong ina-apply na forces and magsisimula tayo dun sa straight line path lang muna yung ating mga i-analyze. Yun kasi yung mas simple. Start with the basics. Ano po? O ngayon, knowing na that is the case, yun yung case natin. Ano yung gagawin natin ngayon dyan? I-define muna natin yung ating rectilinear motion at curvilinear motion. Ano? Rectilinear motion is the position, velocity, and acceleration of a particle as it moves along a straight line. So, very straightforward, no pun intended, along a straight line. Ano? O ngayon, sir, paano kapag tinanong nyo sa exam, pwede po bang isagot na pag rectilinear motion ay straight line, pag curvilinear motion ay curved line? Ano? Pwede naman, pero hindi yun yung hinahanap ko na sagot. Ano, mas may hinahanap ako na sagot dyan. Kasi when we talk about rectilinear motion, kailangan i-describe mo yung kanyang position, velocity, and acceleration as it goes along a straight line. Ano, basically kasi pag rectilinear motion, yung position niya is measured doon sa kanyang or measured in terms of the position coordinate. Ano? Curvilinear motion naman, it is measured in terms of its position vector. Ano, we'll explain that as we go along. But basically, pag rectilinear motion tayo, magbigay tayo ng example ha. Let's say ito yung ating straight line path. Ano, ito yung aking point of origin. Ano, let's say from point O, pumunta ako sa point A. Positive yung aking displacement. Ano, di ba meron tayo ditong position coordinate measured along a fixed point of origin. Ang coordinate natin na yon A, 0. Ano, so that is my displacement. Ano, it's as simple as just quantifying kung ano yung coordinate na yon, position coordinate na yon. Ano, now, ganun din na yung kanyang velocity as well as its acceleration. It moves along this straight line. Kasi kung ang motion niya papunta dito, it makes sense na ang velocity niya as well as its acceleration papunta din dito. Ano, na ganun kapag rectilinear motion. Sir, paano kapag vertical? Yun po ba ay rectilinear motion pa rin? Yes. Ano, rectilinear motion pa rin siya in a sense na straight line pa din naman siya. Kung ito yung point of origin ko and my object is projected or yung trajectory niya is vertically upward to point A, ganun din. Ano, yun din yung kanyang displacement. Positive displacement din siya. Ano, as well as its velocity and its acceleration. Ano, yung acceleration niya lang is constant na. Ano, kasi this is a object flung vertically upward. No, kapag ganun yung case natin, ano na yung magiging acceleration natin? The acceleration due to gravity. Ano? Now, paano naman po pag curvilinear motion? Kasi di ba it's as simple as just A0, dito naman 0, A. Ganun lang natin siya mini-measure. Position coordinate lang siya. How about curvilinear motion? Bakit natin nasabi na siya ay position vector? Let's say we have a two-dimensional axis right here. Kasi the definition natin of a curvilinear motion is the position and velocity as well as the acceleration of a particle as it moves along a curved line in 2 or 3 dimensions na yung pag-uusapan natin. Ano? Let's say 2 dimension, x, y axis. Ito yung aking initial position, point A. Ito naman, ito naman yung aking final position, point A prime. Ano? Di ba masusukat natin itong position na to in terms of a fixed reference frame? Doon kasi din siya yun din kasi ang kanyang difference doon. This is a fixed reference point along the line natin na sinusunod. This is a fixed reference frame. Ano? Yun yung kanyang difference. Ano? If this is measured as A, sorry, dapat curve yun. Ayan, and this is measured as, and this is measured as A prime, ano yung kanyang magiging displacement? Kung ito yung simpleng displacement niya, measured from the final position, simula dun sa initial position niya, ganun din dito, from the final position at sa initial position niya. In this case lang, hindi na siya coordinate, vector na siya. At maka-quantify natin ito using yung kanyang vector difference. Ito na yung ating R, position vector R. Right? Now, mababalikan natin yon pag nandun na tayo sa curvilinear motion, but you brush up on your knowledge pagdating sa vectors no nag-physics kayo but basically yun yung mga mapapag-usapan natin doon. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pag-usapan muna natin ay rectilinear motion. That being said, proceed tayo sa ating rectilinear kinematics. So yun nga, rectilinear motion and then kinematics of particles. Okay? Chapter objectives. Ano yung nilalayo natin after natin matapos itong 2.1 natin na to na ating lecture? After studying this chapter, you should be able to do the following. Express velocity as a function of time, express position as a function of time, and express velocity as a function of position. Yun yung ating mga pag-uusapan doon. Okay? Ngayon, sir, saan po ba natin nakuha yung mga yan? Ano ba yung relevance po ng mga yan? Saan po natin siya gagamitin? Ito kasing tatlong ato, basically ito na yung ating kinematic equations. Now, mamimix natin yung pagtawag natin dito. Minsan masasabi ko na kinematic equation, minsan ay fundamental equations. But basically yun na din yun. Kinematic equations or fundamental equations. Now, saan ba natin siya gagamitin? Gagamitin natin siya to supplement yung general equations natin. Kasi yun yung gagamitin natin for the analysis niya ng ating motion. At yan yung ating mga i-derive. I-derive natin yan. Now, this chapter will focus on the study of dynamics by discussing the kinematics of a particle that moves along a rectilinear or straight line path. Okay, punta tayo muna. Bago natin puntahan itong ating mga kinematic equations na to, fundamental equations muna natin na to, puntahan muna natin yung ating mga parameters for the analysis of motion. Ano ba yung ating mga laging itinatanong dyan? Bigyan natin siya ng mas magandang definition para bago natin siya gamitin sa ating mga equation, alam na natin yung kanyang use case. Alam na natin yung kanyang, alam na natin yung kanyang, definition. Alam na natin yung kanyang how do we define it. Okay? So, position, velocity and acceleration. Time, hindi ko na naisama dito kasi time basically is lahat ng ating motion na to, lahat ng parameters natin na to is measured along an elapsed time. Laging ganun. Pero yung pag-uusapan natin dito lagi, position, velocity, and acceleration. Let's start first with position. Ano ba yung position natin? And since we're talking about rectilinear motion, rectilinear kinematics, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, the position coordinate. This is defined by the positive or negative distance from a fixed origin on the line. The motion of a particle is known if the position coordinate for a particle is known for every value of time t. O let's say, ilabas ulit natin yung ating horizontal axis. Let's say this is a t is equal to 0. Ito yung aking point of origin, O. Now, after an elapsed time, let's say t is equal to 3 seconds, nandito na ako sa point A. Now, given that this is a positive displacement, yung aking position coordinate dito is given as A, 0. Yun yung ating position coordinate is the simple measurement lang ng yung kanyang final position against its initial position measured along the line or the same line na siya ay projected. Clear po ba tayo doon? Okay lang tayo doon. Position coordinate natin. Okay lang? Now, nakalagay dito, it can be positive or negative. Kasi pwede kasing ma-project yung ating change in position. Let's say ito naman yung ating point of origin. Pwede kasing mapunta siya sa point A or sa point B. Ito yung kanyang displacement. Negative displacement siya. Pagpapunta naman sa positive direction, positive displacement siya. Sir, paano po pag vertical? It's the same concept. 0, B, A, negative displacement, positive displacement, depending on its direction of the motion niya. Now, Sabi natin ito, it is measured or it is known for every value of time t. So for every elapsed time, meron siyang change in position. Ano? That leads us to ano yung difference between distance and displacement? And ano ba yung relevant sa ating dito? Define muna natin siya ha. Distance. Distance is the total path length covered during a journey, while displacement is the path of length from final position of the particle to the origin. Na one moment lang ha, sandali lang. Okay, sorry about that. Going back. Ano yung pinagkaiba ng distance and displacement natin? Ano, to put it simply kasi, distance natin is considered as a scalar quantity. Ano? So balik tayo dun sa ating physics, yung difference between scalar and vector quantities natin. Kasi yung displacement naman natin, this is a vector quantity. Ano? Now what do we say when we have yung ating scalar quantity? Pag scalar quantity natin, meron lang siyang magnitude or the only thing that matters for these types of values ay yung kanyang magnitude. Pag vector quantity naman niya, so ano yung nagmamatter sa kanya? Both its magnitude as well as its direction. Yun yung nagmamatter sa kanya. Ano? Now knowing na ito yung ating difference ng dalawa, paano natin maiipakita yon in figure form? Paano natin mas mai explain yon? Ganito siya, ano? Let's say meron akong horizontal path natin right here. So, ang aking point of origin, nandito ako sa point B, point A. Let's say, all throughout my travel, nag-start ako from my point of origin, pumunta ako to the negative direction, papunta sa A, and then from point A, pumunta ako sa point B. Paano natin ma-differentiate yung distance at displacement using this figure right here? Okay? When we talk of the distance or the total distance, scalar quantity nga siya. So regardless ng kanyang direction, kailangan mo lang ma-quantify kung ano yung kanyang magnitude or yung kanyang total value. Now knowing na this is the case, paano natin mako-quantify yung total distance nitong travel na to? Pumunta ako from point O to point A and then from point A to point B. So let's say from O to A and then plus from A to B. Now let's say lagyan natin ng graduation itong ating figure na to, lagyan natin ng values. So ito ay let's say negative 4 units, ito naman ay 4 units. Ano ngayon yung total distance traveled ko sa tingin ninyo? So from point O to point A, di ba yun ay 4 units? Again, regardless of its direction of motion, kung negative direction man siya, hindi siya magmamatter. Kasi magnitude lang yung ating ina-account for dito. The total path length lang. Ano? Plus, also from point A to point B, ano naman yung kanyang value? 4 units plus another 4 units. So, plus 8 units. Ano? Therefore, yung total distance travel ko, is 12 units all in all. So we took into account the total path length. Total. Paano naman pag displacement? Displacement naman natin, meron siyang variable S. Or depende sa kung ano yung figure natin. Pero yung general variable na ginagamit natin dyan, S. So, is equal to the final position minus the initial position. Dito kasi nagmamatter yung ating direction. So you just take into consideration the final position niya as well as its initial position. O ngayon, paano naman natin to isosolve? Paano naman natin to i-quantify? The final position niya is at point B. Ano yung kanyang value? 4 units. How about its initial position? Measured from the same point of origin, 0 siya. 0 units. Therefore, yung ating displacement S is equal to 4 units. O magkaiba yung lumabas na value natin dito sa dalawa. Now, look at it this way. Let's say kayo ay nag-running, nag-jogging kayo sa isang oval. When you take into account your total distance traveled, 'di ba susukatin nyo ilang kilometro yung natakbo ninyo. Yun yung total na itinakbo ninyo. Right? Granted na dun sa oval, after ninyo dun sa oval, dito kayo nag-start, this is your point of origin, dito din kayo nagtapos. When we talk of the displacement naman, let's say tumakbo kayo from this initial position, tumakbo kayo ilang kilometro, ilang ikot yung tinakbo nyo, pero dito din kayo bumalik sa initial position nyo na yon, the displacement nyo pa rin is 0. Bakit? Kasi, when we talk of displacement, sa madaling sabi, sa Tagalog, yung displacement, gaano kalayo yung change ng position mo, gaano kalayo ang narating mo. Hindi, gaano kalayo yung narating mo, gaano kalaki yung naging change ng position mo as opposed to gaano kalaki yung total mo na naitakbo, regardless ng kung saan ka nagsimula. So dito, the displacement niya is 4 units kasi it makes sense. Yung una mong itininavel from point O to point A, then from point A to point O, nag-cancel out lang siya. Walang bearing na yon. Kasi bumalik ka lang ulit sa initial position mo as opposed to the total distance, quantify mo lahat. Summation nung buong na i-travel mo. Nagets po ba natin yon on that regard? Clear po ba tayo doon? Okay lang. Okay, how about yung iba? Okay lang? Okay? So I hope okay lang ha. I am assuming na since positive naman yung inyong mga reaction, mga feedback, ibig sabihin ay clear naman sa inyo. Okay? Kapag hindi, pwede naman kayong mag-raise ng inyong mga kamay, raise your hand, and just ask your question. Okay? Now, knowing this, ano po sir yung ating ginagamit usually? Displacement po yung ating ginagamit. Kasi yung vector quantity yung gagamitin natin for the velocity as well as the acceleration. So clear na po ba tayo in terms of position? Okay na. We can move on sa ating next parameter, velocity. Okay? Now, if position is the change in position, displacement natin, ano naman yung ating velocity? Velocity naman is the rate of change in position. In its equation form, masusulat natin siya as the final position minus initial position over the time taken. Or ano ba itong final position minus initial position natin na to? Diga ito yung ating yari mali yung spelling. Position. Ari ito yung ating displacement. Ito yung ating displacement. Okay? O ngayon, knowing na ito yung ating equation, pwede natin din siyang maisulat as, di ba ito ay change in position. Delta, the Greek symbol delta, signifies change. Ano? So change in position over a change in time. Or pwede na nating masulat siya as ds over dt. Ano? So ganito lang yon. Tatandaan nyo velocity is the first time derivative ng ating change in position. Ano? Velocity is equal to d over dt, first time derivative ng ating position s, which makes sense. Kasi ano ba yung unit niya? Yung unit niya is unit distance per unit time, meter per second. Pag English units naman tayo, feet per second. Ano pa yung usually makikita natin dyan? Kilometer per hour, mile per hour. Basically unit distance over unit time. Yun yung ating mga magagamit doon. So yun lang yung tatandaan nyo. Now sir, since yung position natin, when we talk of the displacement, siya ay vector quantity, how about velocity? Since vector quantity yung ginamit natin dito, vector quantity din yung ating velocity. In what manner? Paano nagkaroon ng direction yung ating velocity? Now think of it this way. Kapag ganito yung aking projection or ang trajectory ng aking motion. Let's say ito yung aking point of origin O. Punta ako sa point A, which is to the -4 units direction, papunta sa kaliwa. Tapos, yung time elapsed ko from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 4 seconds. Ibig sabihin, nag-travel ako from point A to point B. Ano yung aking final position? A minus O all over 4 seconds. Kasi 4 seconds yung aking total time elapsed. Velocity, ilapat natin yung ating mga values. Velocity is equal to -4 minus 0 all over 4. Velocity na nakuha kong sagot, -1 meter per second. Granted that this is in meters. Sir, negative yung lumabas na velocity. Bakit po siya negative? Sir, meron po ba tayong such thing as a negative value ng velocity? Technically, yes, meron tayong negative, but it's not the way you think. Sa mga gauge ng ating sasakyan, wala kayong makikita na yung needle ay pupunta pa kaliwa. Hindi na siya nagpupunta past 0, papuntang kaliwa. Laging positive yung kanyang velocity. Obviously, wala tayong negative na velocity. Now, itong change in position na to, itong negative sign convention na to is dictated by the displacement niya. So basically, yung sign convention niya or kung ano man yung sign niya, it is dictated by its change in position. That means, yung sign convention na yon gives us the direction. Kung positive direction yung pinuntahan niya, kung positive displacement ang meron siya. Or kung negative yung direction niya, meron siya negative displacement. So basically, pag isusulat nyo yung velocity nyo dito, velocity is equal to 1 meter per second, pero lalagyan nyo siya ng direction of motion, which is papunta sa negative direction. Clear po tayo doon? Okay lang. Clear? Okay, how about yung iba? Okay? Okay, good. Let's continue on with our acceleration. Punta naman tayo sa ating acceleration. What do we say now? What do we do naman when we talk of our acceleration? Acceleration naman is the rate of change in velocity at any given instant. Or to put it in its equation form, delta V over delta T or dV over dt. Ito kasi yung sequence niya. Displacement, papunta sa velocity, and then papunta sa acceleration. The first time derivative ng ating change in position is the velocity, which makes sense. Kasi yung first time derivative niya, it is unit distance per unit time, meter per second or feet per second. Paano naman pagpapunta tayong acceleration? Di ba sabi, it's the first time derivative naman ng ating velocity. D over dt ng ating velocity. Now, kung first time derivative ng ating velocity ang ating acceleration, now that means na yung ating acceleration is the second time derivative naman ng ating displacement. It makes sense, right? Kasi i-derivative mo to, velocity. I-derivative mo ulit, acceleration. May susulat din natin siya in this manner. D squared S.
Gusto nyo ka samgyup? Hindi namang powder.
Okay? May susulat natin din siya as d squared S all over dt squared. The second time derivative nitong ating displacement. Tama? Make sense, right? Okay lang. Clear po ba tayo doon? Okay? How about yung iba? Okay? Okay, so I'm assuming na clear yun sa inyo, ha? Kapag may questions, you just ask, which makes sense again kasi kapag ina-analyze natin yung unit niya, ang ating acceleration ay unit distance over unit time squared, meter per second squared. Kasi ano ba yung ating usual values ng acceleration? Acceleration due to gravity, right? Meter per second squared, feet per second squared. Ano? So yun yung ating acceleration. Clear po tayo doon. Okay lang? Clear. Okay, good. Now that leads us to dito sa ating sunod na. Ano, kasi na-define na natin siya. Position, velocity, and acceleration. Now, let's make the relations between the three. Ano, paano tayo makakabuo na ng ating mga working equations? Ano, kasi nabuo na natin yung general equation natin dyan. Tatlo yung nabuo natin. Ano, may isa pa tayo, bukod dun sa dalawa na pinag-usapan natin kanina. Di ba we have velocity, I ds over dt, and acceleration, dv over dt. Ano, mamaya may isa pa. Basically, pag in-equate mo lang itong dalawa, may isa ka pang equation na makukuha. Ano? But this is the perfect segue para dalhin ko kayo sa ating definition naman ng ating tinatawag na uniform motion at uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, uniform motion and uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, what's the difference? Di ba nasabi ko sa inyo nung ating orientation, nung ating right? Na one way to get the context ng isang word is to define, one way to get the definition of a word is to break down the word para makuha mo yung context ng word na yun. Ano, ganun yung gawin natin dito. Uniform motion. Motion na uniform. O kapag sinabi natin na uniform, ano yung ating unang pumapasok sa ating isip? Uniform. Like yung ating uniform, right? Yung uniform natin, kaya nga siya uniform is because it is the same. Pare-parehas tayo na sinusuot. Uniform nga, di ba pwedeng uniform, tapos iba-iba tayo, right? Pare-parehas. So kung pare-parehas yung motion, ano yung mako-conclude nyo doon? Kung pare-parehas yung motion natin, ibig sabihin, kung gumalaw ako, pare-parehas yung galaw ko. O paano natin mai attribute yung motion na yon? When we say uniform motion, uniform yung kanyang velocity. Uniform yung takbo ko. Ibig sabihin, hindi ako bumabagal, hindi ako bumibilis, pare-parehas lang. It's constant. Yun yung mako-conclude natin yun, di ba? Masusulat natin na kapag uniform motion, velocity natin ay constant. At pagka yung constant yung velocity natin, that means yung velocity ko at state point 1, let's say yung aking initial velocity at my point of origin, equal lang siya sa aking velocity at my final state point, v sub f. Right? It makes sense naman, di ba? Kasi equal nga lang siya, hindi nga siya bumabagal, hindi nga siya bumibilis. Now, one more thing that we can conclude there, kapag hindi siya bumabagal at hindi siya bumibilis, the value of our acceleration para doon is 0. 0, hindi nga siya nag-accelerate, hindi din siya nagde-decelerate, kaya 0. Now, the difference naman with the uniformly accelerated motion is, breakdown ulit natin yung word natin. Uniformly accelerated. Acceleration niya is uniform. It is accelerated uniformly. So yung uniform doon or yung pare-parehas doon yung acceleration mo. That means, using the logic na ginamit natin dito, acceleration mo naman ngayon dito ang constant. Pag constant ang acceleration mo, ano nangyayari sa velocity mo? Diba it varies? Kung positive yung acceleration mo, bumibilis ka. Pag negative yung acceleration mo, that is deceleration, bumabagal ka. So that just means na using the same logic dito, yung iyong velocity dito, initial velocity, is not equal to that of your final velocity. Kasi nagva-vary na nga siya. Now this is the basic assumption natin para makuha natin yung ating kinematic equations. Constant acceleration. At constant acceleration, the kinematic equations can be integrated to obtain the formulas that relate acceleration. Take note yung subscript natin dito sa acceleration, may C na subscript. That just means constant. A sub C velocity, displacement, as well as time. Okay? So ito yung ating assumption doon. Uniformly accelerated motion. So kapag tinanong ko sa kayo, what is the difference between a uniform motion and a uniformly accelerated motion? Uniform motion is under the assumption that the velocity stays the same all throughout the journey. And if the velocity is constant, acceleration is zero. Uniformly accelerated motion naman is under the assumption na yung ating acceleration ay yung constant. Now, if you are under constant acceleration, whether it's positive or negative, the value of your velocity will vary. Now, if you have positive acceleration, your velocity increases. Kapag positive yung acceleration natin ay positive. Yung ating velocity, or yung ating final velocity is far greater than that of our initial velocity. Kapag ang acceleration naman natin ay negative or deceleration, yun namang ating initial velocity ang mas malaki sa ating final velocity kasi nagde-decelerate nga siya, bumabagal nga siya. Clear po ba sa atin yon? Does that make sense? Okay lang. Okay, how about yung iba? Okay, again, I'm assuming na okay lang sa inyo, ha? Kasi this leads us na papunta dito sa ating kinematic equations. Ngayon, ano ba yung ating diniscuss dito sa ano ba yung sinabi natin dito sa ating tawag dito sa ating chapter objectives? Express velocity as a function of time, express position as a function of time, and express velocity as a function of time. Yun ay ating i-describe na siya. Yun na yung ating kinematic equations. At dito na po tayo magkakaroon ng ating unang pagde-derive ng ating mga working equations. So please do pay attention dito. Now, sabi natin i-express natin siya. Siya ay ating i-define ng maayos. Now, one way to rephrase these equations or this phrase right here is like this. Velocity as a function of time. Velocity that changes as time changes. Now take note of those words kasi pag dinerive natin yon, i-reflect natin siya dun sa ating equation or yung na-derive natin na equation na yun, i-reflect natin dito sa ating wordings na pinalitan dito. This is velocity that changes as time changes. Ibig sabihin, habang lumilipas yung oras, nababago yung iyong velocity. Pag tinagalog natin, How about this one? Position changes as time progresses or changes. Ibig sabihin, habang lumilipas yung oras, yung position mo naman nagbabago. Habang lumilipas yung oras, palayo ka ng palayo. How about this one? Velocity naman changes as yung iyong position changes. Sa Tagalog, habang lumalayo yung position mo, nagbabago yung velocity mo. Okay? Now, let's try to derive yung ating equations. But before that, I want you to take a look at these equations right here. Ito kasing equations natin na to, nakuha natin to from Hibbeler na reference. Ito nga pala yun, kung hindi nyo natatanong. Meron ako dito libro. Right? Ito yung ating reference. R.C. Hibbeler 14th edition. So, ayun. Ito yung pagkakaderive ni Hibbeler dito. Now, ngayon, babaguhin natin yung mga equations na to. May idadagdag lang naman tayo para yung ating equations mas flexible siya. Kasi kay Hibbeler, ang assumption niya dito is at t is equal to 0, s is also equal to 0, which is not always the case. Meron tayong mga motion na hindi laging at its initial starting time. Nagsimula lang din siya at its point of origin. Maaaring meron siyang certain metric or meron siyang certain distance, rather, simula dun sa point of origin natin. At kapag ganun yung case, at least alam nyo kung saan siya ipapasok. Alam nyo kung saan siya ilalagay. So take note of these 3 right here kasi meron tayong konting babaguhin. At i-derive naman natin siya, starting with the velocity as a function of time. Ngayon, kung yung kay Hibbeler, velocity is equal to v sub o plus a sub c times t, ganito naman yung gagawin natin dyan. Velocity with the subscript f, ibig sabihin final velocity is equal to v sub o with the subscript o, initial velocity at the origin, plus a sub c t. Ito yung ating papalabasin dyan. At paano natin yung papalabasin? Balikan natin ulit ito At constant acceleration, we can derive the kinematic equations pag in-integrate natin yung ating general equations. Therefore, meron na tayo ditong conditions. A sub c, constant. Yung general equations natin, ilabas ulit natin yon. Velocity is equal to ds over dt. Acceleration is equal to dv over dt. Now, using these conditions, and using these readily available equations na sa atin, palabasin natin to. Now, how do we do that? Let's start with this equation. Sulat natin siya A sub c. Inilagay ko yung constant, yung subscript na constant, kasi para malinaw sa atin na constant yung acceleration natin. This is equal to dv all over dt. O, i-cross multiply natin para ma-simplify natin siya. dv is equal to a sub c dt. Now, looking at this equation right off the bat, mapapansin nyo, very similar na siya dun sa namesake nung ating equation na yon. Velocity as a function of time. Paano nga natin yung sinulat kanina? Velocity changes as time changes. Or habang nagpo-progress yung oras, nababago yung velocity mo. Now, let's look at the equation natin. The left side ng ating equation, dv. Ano ba when we say dv? The change in velocity, di ba? Ibig sabihin, velocity that changes, dv. How about the right side ng ating equation? Time that changes, dt. Right? Di ba yun na siya? And yung ating namang acceleration dito, we are under the assumption nga na yung ating acceleration ay constant. So right off the bat, meron na tayo nitong ating equation. It's just a matter of simplifying. At ano yung sabi natin? Para makuha natin yung ating working equations, i-integrate natin siya. Yun naman yung gagawin natin. Clear po ba tayo doon sa explanation natin? Okay lang? Napipick up naman, nakaka-follow. Okay, how about yung iba? Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. So, sige. Sulat lang natin ulit dv is equal to a sub c dt. Tapos i-integrate natin siya both sides. Now, kapag ka nag-i-integrate tayo, ano ba yung kailangan nating ma-take into account? The upper and lower limits, di ba? Dito natin isa-set yung mga variables natin. Now, pay attention dito sa mga variables na ilalagay ko. Kasi the way na nakuha natin itong equation na to, as opposed sa nakuha ni Hibbeler, nakadepende lang yan sa variables na ginamit natin. For the upper and lower limits natin, the left side ng ating equation, the lower limit natin dito, basically, this is at state point or initial state point natin, state point 1 up to state point 2 or the final state point natin. For velocity, ano yung nagva-vary natin? At state point 1. Inilalagay natin dyan ay at v sub o. Velocity at state point 1 or its initial state point, velocity at the origin. Yun po yung subscript o natin, at the origin. Paano naman pag final state point natin dito? Kay Hibbeler, nilagay lang niya dito as velocity. Pero para mas malinaw sa atin at para consistent all throughout dun sa ating mga equations yung ating way ng pag-solve at yung ating naming scheme, gawin natin siyang velocity at the final state point, v sub f. Okay? Clear tayo doon? Okay lang? Nakakasunod. I hope nakakasunod tayo doon kasi hindi na natin masyadong pag-usapan nyo sa sunod na mga equations natin. I will just assume na alam nyo na yung naming scheme natin. Dito naman sa right side ng ating equation, yung time natin, so wala tayong time at 0. We'll just completely assume na siya ay 0 or we'll just put yung ating initial state point natin doon at 0. Kasi yung time natin, it always starts at 0. Not unless very specialized yung ating problem na yung tinatanong niya ay at this particular time as opposed to a reference starting time at 0, lagi siyang at 0. Now, bukod doon, yung upper limit naman natin ditong ilalagay, hindi na t sub f, t na lamang. Ano? Kasi this is the corresponding time at this corresponding velocity. Okay? Clear tayo dun sa ating naming scheme? Okay lang sa ating mga variables? Okay lang. Okay, good? Okay, good? Okay. Next, let's simplify. O, kung meron na tayo dito ng ating mga upper and lower limits, it's just a matter of applying na lang yung ating, integrate na lang natin siya, di ba? Kapag ka ganito, it's just as simple as cancellation. Kasi alam nga natin na acceleration natin ay constant. Mapa-factor out na natin siya. Ano? So, knowing that, simplify na natin siya. Ano? So, velocity natin, and the upper and lower limits natin, v sub f and v sub o. This is equal to, factor out natin yung ating acceleration, and then t natin at t and 0. Ano? Tapos, simplifying this further, dito tayo sa taas ha, v sub f minus v sub o is equal to a sub c t minus 0. Transpose ko lang ito pa kabila. V sub f is equal to v sub o plus a sub c t, which gives us, the final form ng ating equation. Velocity as a function of time. Ano, clear po ba sa atin kung paano napalabas yon? Okay lang? Para kapag tinanong ko sa exam, pag pinaderive ko, alam nyo na kung paano siya i-derive. Ano? Now, knowing this, ano yung gagawin natin dyan? Ibangga natin siya dun sa ating binigay nga na definition. Velocity that changes as time changes. Ibig sabihin natin dito, velocity natin na to, nagva-vary to, nag-change to. This is velocity that is varying. Now, how about the initial velocity? Ito, tinitreat natin as constant. Kasama yung ating acceleration na to that is constant. Of course, alam natin na to na constant kasi yun nga yung assumption natin. Pero ano ba yung explanation natin para dito sa v sub o? Let me give you an example. Let's say ito yung aking motion. This is my initial position point O and this is A. Now, let's say this is at t is equal to 3 seconds. This is at t is equal to 0. Nagkaroon ako ng particular displacement dito. Ano? Tapos nagkaroon ako ng velocity at acceleration. Now, regardless of how long you've traveled, how far you've traveled, ano? Kung ano yung initial value mo dito ng initial velocity mo at this particular point na nandito ka, hindi magbabago yun. Ano, what do I mean? Yes, kapag ka nag-change in position ka at kapag ka nag-accelerate ka, magbabago yung velocity mo na yon. But that doesn't change the fact na yung recorded mo, hindi so 0. V sub o yun. That doesn't change the fact na yung velocity mo at 0, at this initial state point, kung ano yung value mo, yun na siya. Ano? Nagagets po ba natin? Kung ano yung na-record mo na initial velocity, ano? Hindi na magbabago yun kahit gaano pa kalayo yung narating mo. Okay? Clear po ba tayo doon? Clear po ba tayo doon in that regard? How about yung iba? O, ganito, para mas simple. Ano? It's the same as to the concept of yung ating initial position naman at the point of origin natin. Kahit gaano kalayo yung narating mo, that doesn't change the fact na kapag kasinukat mo, kung saan ka nang galing, from the initial position mo, yun pa rin siya. Hindi magbabago. Constant din siya. Ano? So that is the same, on that regard. Okay, clear tayo doon? Kaya siya ay constant. Ibig sabihin, velocity that changes as time changes. Itong velocity natin to, nagbabago to. Initial velocity natin na to, hindi na to magbabago. Constant na nga siya eh. Kung ano yung initial velocity mo nung nagsimula ka, yun na siya. Ano? Acceleration natin, constant din. Yun nga yung assumption natin. Ito pa yung isa natin na nagva-vary. Ano? Velocity changes as time changes. Clear tayo doon? Okay, how about yung iba? Okay, good. Okay, good. O, next. Ang assumption natin dito is acceleration is constant. Now, what if yung acceleration natin ay hindi constant? Ano yung mangyayari? Ano, mapuprove ba natin na ganun nga siya through its equation form na kapag ka zero yung acceleration, ang velocity natin ay constant? Yes, kasi pag sinubstitute natin to dito, ano yung mapapalabas natin? V sub f is equal to V sub o plus A sub ct, where A sub c is equal to 0. Maka-cancel out lang natin ito. Mapalabas natin dyan, V sub f is equal to V sub o. Velocity ay constant. Ano? So this is under the assumption nga ng uniformly accelerated motion. Paano kapag uniform motion? Na-prove lang natin. Velocity ay constant. Okay? Okay na. We can move along dun sa ating next na equation. Position naman as a function of time. Now dito medyo nagbago tayo kasi hindi lang tayo nagdagdag ng variable. Hindi lang tayo nagdagdag ng subscript. Nagdagdag tayo ng variable altogether. Ano? Kasi dito ang ating working equation is S sub f is equal to S sub o plus V sub ot plus 1/2 A sub ct squared. Ano? Paano naman natin ito palalabasin? Using the same assumptions. Acceleration is constant and using the general equations natin. Velocity is equal to ds over dt. Acceleration is equal to dv over dt. Now ngayon, nagamit na natin to. Sir, ano yung pwede nating sunod na gamitin? Let's try and use this one. Ano? Velocity is equal to ds all over dt. Same procedure. Cross-multiply natin. ds is equal to v dt. Now, right off the bat, ano yung mapapansin nyo na? Position that changes as time changes. This is a position that changes. ds nga, di ba? As well as, yung sa right side ng ating equation, a time that changes. So, right off the bat, napalabas na natin yung ating equation, the namesake of our equation. Ano? O ngayon, hindi pa natin to directly masisimplify kasi hindi naman constant itong velocity na meron tayo dito. Hindi siya constant. Bakit? This velocity right here varies with position as well as time. Habang lumilipas yung oras, bumibilis ito or bumabagal. Habang lumalayo, nagbabago yung velocity na to. So hindi natin siya ma-differentiate, hindi natin siya ma-integrate together. Hindi natin siya ma-integrate agad-agad. Kailangan natin siyang i-simplify. Now, we need to look for a value of velocity natin na nagva-vary. Ano ba yung velocity natin na nagva-vary? Now, if we revert back dun sa ating previous na equation, di ba ito yon? Velocity that varies. Particularly, velocity that varies with time. Ano yung makukonclude natin doon? Or ano yung pwede nating sabihin doon? Itong velocity natin na to, pwede natin siya ma-equate with the final velocity na nasolve natin sa velocity as a function of time, which is V sub o plus A sub c t. Tama? Knowing that, pwede natin siyang i-substitute dito. Try natin. ds is equal to V sub o plus A sub ct dt. O para mas mapalinaw natin, i-distribute natin itong dt. ds is equal to V sub o dt plus A sub ct dt. Tapos ngayon natin siya i-integrate. Ano yung mapapansin nyo na dyan? This is the same position that varies. How about this one? This is time that varies. Tapos ang kakambit niya, yung ating initial velocity, which na-establish na natin nga is constant. Pwede natin ma-factor out. How about this one? Itong last term natin. A sub c, constant ulit. Pwede natin ma-factor out. How about this one? T dt. Ito ay pwede natin ding i-simplify. Kasi yung term na to, pwede natin siya ma-integrate na. Kasi it's a function of itself. T dt. Paano natin ma-integrate yon? Di ba ang T dt? Similar siya doon sa ating term na x dx. Paano ga tayo nag-i-integrate ng term na x dx? Naalala? Di ba yung ating formula dito, pag ini-integrate natin, it is x raised to n plus 1 all over n plus 1. Naalala? Paki-acknowledge naman kung naaalala. Kasi yung kagaya na sabi ko sa inyo, kapag ka-calculus based yung approach natin, kailangan i-refresh nyo yung inyong mga napag-aralan nyo sa calculus. Next, moving along, it's a matter of pag-integrate na lang natin sa kanya, apply na lang natin yung ating upper and lower limits. So for this one, meron tayo nitong ating changing position, right? So, using the same naming scheme, pag position along the tawag dito yung ating position along its initial state point, so S sub 0 or S sub O. Dito tayo nagbago ng binigay na variable kay Hibbeler. Kasi yung kay Hibbeler, directly nilagay niya dito ay 0, which is not always the case. Mas flexible ito. Ano? Now, following the same naming scheme, S sub f yung ibigay natin dito na variable. Dito naman sa kabila. Now, establish na natin na t and 0 yung ginagamit natin for time. It's just a matter of simplifying na lang ito. Ano? So, S sub f, S sub o. Right? Is equal to, ano sunod? V sub o, pwede nating i-factor out, times, o ito, cancellation lang din. Ano? T, right? T and 0, plus, pwede nating i-factor out yung A sub C times, o ito, paano natin ito i-apply? T raised to 1 plus 1, kasi yung exponent niya dito ay 1, so T squared all over 2, then T 0. Clear po ba sa atin kung paano tayo nag-arrive dito? Okay lang? Clear? Okay, moving along. Simplifying this further. Ano? So, S sub f minus S sub o is equal to V sub o times T minus 0 plus, o ano yung pwede natin gawin dito sa ating 1/2 na to? Kasi di ba ito ay 1/2? Pwede natin i-factor out yon. So, pwede natin siyang ilabas. 1/2 times A sub C times T squared minus 0 squared. O cancel and cancel. Simplifying this further and transposing this simultaneously, S sub f is equal to S sub o plus V sub ot plus 1/2 A sub ct squared. Ito yung ating equation. Ano? Final form ng ating equation. Ngayon, ano ba yung nadagdag natin dito bukod sa variable natin na ito? Ano? Itong subscript natin na ito, ano? Itong variable na S sub o. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na it doesn't always start na kapag t is equal to 0, s is equal to 0. That is not always the case. Now, knowing that that is not always the case, kailangan alam nyo kung saan nyo ipapasok itong variable s sub o, the initial position niya. Ano? Now, kapag alam nyo na to, mas flexible kayo. Kasi yes, granted na ganito yung case natin. Ibig sabihin, i-substitute nyo lang dito, 0. So, mas flexible. Okay? Clear tayo doon? Okay. Okay lang? Nakakasunod? How about yung iba? Nakakasunod pa ba? Okay lang ha. I'm assuming na walang nagtatanong, so naiintindihan ninyo. Ano? Sir, paano naman nga po ulit kapag yung ating sinukat dyan or yung ating pinalta natin yung assumption natin na yung acceleration natin ay 0. So, di ba, maka-cancel out natin ito. Right? Pag na-cancel out natin na to, we'll arrive with S sub f is equal to S sub o plus V sub ot. Ano? Ngayon, our change in position kasi hindi naman siya constant. Ibig sabihin, kahit yung constant yung velocity mo, ano, yung velocity mo is the same all throughout your travel, the fact na na meron ka pa ring velocity, constant nga lang siya, that means na after a given amount of time, magkakaroon ka pa rin ng change in position. Ito yung formula natin na yun. Ano, this is the formula natin for our range. Ano, na mas relevant yun sa atin pag nasa projectile motion na tayo. But then again, pinakita ko lang sa inyo. Ano? Okay? Clear? Okay lang? Okay lang? Okay? Lastly, punta na tayo sa ating velocity as a function of position. Na yung ating formula naman dito, how it differs dun kay Hibbeler, ito ay V sub f squared is equal to V sub o squared plus 2 A sub C, S sub f minus S sub o. Bukod sa nadagdag na variable, bukod sa nadagdag na subscript, nadagdagan lang din tayo ng variable S sub o, kagaya lang din sa kanina. At least, alam niyo kung saan siya ipapasok kapag hindi at 0 yung kanyang initial position. Ano? Now, same assumption. Same set of general equations. Velocity is equal to ds over dt. Acceleration is equal to dv over dt. Pero sir, nagamit na ito natin parehas. Ano yung gagawin natin? For the final equation natin, buo tayo ng isa pang equation. Equate natin itong dalawa. Ano? Kasi this dt, this change in time, similar yan sa dalawa. Ano? Common yan dun sa dalawa. Ano? So, ang gawin natin dyan, dt is equal to ds over v, and simultaneously, dt is equal to dv over a. Equate natin itong dalawa. ds over v is equal to dv over a. Okay? So, cross-multiply natin. V dv is equal to a ds. Ito yung gagamitin natin na working equation. With the same assumption na yung acceleration natin ay constant. Ano? So, doing just that, v dv is equal to a sub c ds. Okay? Okay lang, right? Ngayon, knowing na ito yung ating equation, knowing that this is yung ating equation ha, check natin right off the bat, velocity as a function of time. Velocity that changes as the position changes. Mapapansin natin sa left side ng ating equation, yun na siya velocity that varies. And it's a term that is a function of itself. Pwede natin itong ihalin tulad dun sa TDT na in-integrate natin kanina. Masisimplify na natin siya. Yung right side ng ating equation, ganun din. It's a function of position that it is the function of position or it is the position that varies. Kaya nga ds. So right off the bat pala, dito pa lang, pwede na natin siyang i-integrate. Sulat ko lang ulit ha. V dv is equal to a sub c ds. Integrate natin. It's just a matter of applying yung ating upper and lower limits. Dito ay v sub f, dito ay v sub o. Baliktad. V sub f and v sub o. Dito naman ay S sub o and S sub f. Hindi ko na masyadong papaka-explain yun kasi it's the same naming scheme lang. The same set of variables lang na ginagamit natin. So knowing again that this is the case, ano yung gagawin natin dyan? Simplify na lang natin. Paano natin ito i-simplify? Applying yung similar formula na ginamit natin kanina. So v n plus 1 over n plus 1. So, v raised to 2, v squared all over 2. Tapos yung kanyang upper and lower limits. V sub f at saka v sub o is equal to a sub c, constant, we can factor it out, and we have s sub f and s sub o. And then, simplify na lang natin. Ano yung pwede natin gawin dito? Pwede natin i-factor out yung ating 1/2 na to kasi di ba ito ay 1/2? So this will be 1/2 times v sub f squared minus v sub o squared is equal to a sub c s sub f minus s sub o. Ngayon, simplify natin to. Ilipat natin tong 1/2 papunta dito sa kabila. I-cross-multiply natin or i-multiply natin both sides by 1/2. V sub f squared is, minus v sub o squared is equal to 2 a sub c S sub f minus S sub o. Okay? Simplifying this further, we have, tatranspose na lang natin na to, v sub f squared is equal to v sub o squared plus 2a sub c S sub f minus S sub o. Ito na yung ating final form ng ating equation. Okay? Clear tayo doon? Okay lang. Okay lang, right? Ayusin ulit natin, ibangga ulit natin siya dun sa ating pangalan. Velocity that changes as position changes. Kasi this velocity right here varies. Yun nga yung ating final velocity. Na-establish na natin na yung ating initial velocity natin na to is constant. Same as with the acceleration, constant. Ito naman yung ating ito yung ating final position na nagva-vary. Ito yun? Ito yung position natin na nag-change. Kasi na-establish na natin na this initial position natin na ito ay constant din. So ano lang yung mag-variable natin na nagbabago dyan? Velocity that changes as the position changes. So habang lumalayo yung distansya natin na to, nagbabago yung velocity natin na to. Kung pabagal man siya or pabilis, ang magdidikta sa kanya itong ating acceleration na to. Kung positive siya or negative. Okay? Clear po ba tayo doon? Okay lang tayo doon? Okay? Ngayon, paano kapag ilapat ulit natin dyan ang acceleration natin ay 0? Mapuprove lang natin ulit na yung ating velocity ay constant. Kasi pag ito ay ating kinancel out as 0 kasi acceleration natin ay 0, di ka mangyayari, v sub f squared is equal to v sub o squared. Di kay pag kinancel mo ito, di kay velocity ay constant. So it makes sense din. Ano, kapag ka manipulate mo yung iyong mga ginamit na conditions, ano, maiintindihan mo, mas mabibigyan mo ng linaw yung ating mga pinag-uusapan na concept. Ano, yung concept nga natin ng uniformly accelerated motion and the uniform motion natin. Clear? Okay lang? So yun yung tatandaan nyo ha, kasi that is the part, the end ng ating 2.1. Ano, tatandaan nyo lang yung ating general equation. General equations, yung ating velocity is equal to ds over dt, acceleration is equal to dv over dt, ano, and ads is equal to vdv. Ano? Ano pa? Fundamental equation naman natin, or yung ating kinematic equations. Ano? Velocity as a function of time, v sub f is equal to v sub o plus a sub ct. Position as a function of time, s sub f is equal to s sub o plus v sub ot plus 1/2 a sub ct squared. Velocity as a function of position, v sub f squared is equal to v sub o squared plus 2 a sub c s sub f minus s sub o. Ito yung mga equations na isulat nyo na sa inyong index card para ma-start nyo nang sa uluhin. Ito yung mga equations na kailangan alam nyo yung derivation. Ano, clear po ba tayo doon? Okay lang? Okay lang? Oh, ano, tayo ay magdire-diretso na sa ating final na part ng ating discussion ngayon, yung ating isang sample problem. Ano, para tayo ay maaga makapag-dismiss. Sample problem number 1. Ano, so handaan nyo na yung inyong mga calculators, handaan nyo na yung inyong mga scratch, mga lecture notes ninyo, try to write yung solution natin as I try to solve dito sa ating naka-flash dito sa screen natin. Ano? Basahin natin ano, sample problem number 1. The car in figure 12-2 moves in a straight line such that for a short time its velocity is defined by v is equal to 3t squared plus 2t in feet per second, where t is in seconds. Determine its position and acceleration when t is equal to 3 seconds and when t is equal to 0, s is equal to 0. Sir, paano po yung ating solution dyan? Paano po natin gagawin yung ating solution? Ano po yung kino-consider nyo as a complete solution? O ganito yung sequence natin na susundin. Ano? Let's start with the given. Ano ba yung binigay sa atin dyan? Binigyan tayo ng velocity. Velocity is equal to 3t squared plus 2t. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yung kanyang units, feet per second, where t is in seconds. Okay? Ngayon, binigyan din tayo ng condition na when t is equal to 0, s is also equal to 0. Ano po? T is equal to 0, s is equal to 0. Okay? O ngayon, ano yun na yung sunod natin na gagawin dyan? After ng given, wala na tayong ibang given naman, ano? Ano yung ating mga unknown? So, ilagay nyo, unknown or find. Ano yung kailangan nating hanapin? Tapos, tawag nyo dito. Siya ay, isi-sequence nyo kung ano yung mga hahanapin. So, at A, at B. So, kung ano yung sequence natin doon. Kailangan ay medyo malinaw tayo doon in that regard. Ano? So, what we need to find here? Kailangan nating hanapin at A, we need to find the displacement, di ba? S at T is equal to 3 seconds. Yun yung hinahanap natin, ano? Determine the position and the acceleration when t is equal to 3 seconds. So that means B naman, ito ay yung ating acceleration at t is equal to 3 seconds. Yun naman yung ating second unknown. Ano? So basically, yun yung ating unknown, yun yung ating kailangang hanapin, yun yung ating find. Clear po tayo doon. After niyon, schematic diagrams naman. Schematic diagram naman. Now, laging kailangang may kasamang schematic diagram regardless nung kung simple yung figure natin, kagaya nito, at kung siya ay sobrang complicated. More so kapag ka-complicated, lalo na kapag ka magpapakita kayo ng mga FBD. Ano? Kasi laging pag nag-check ako, pag mag-check ako ng papel, walang FBD. Paano mo nakuha yung iyong working equation ay wala kang FBD? Saan mo nakuha yung anong reference mo doon? Ang iisipin ko, nangopya lamang kayo. Kasi wala kayong figure to back up yung inyong working equation. So huwag niyong kakalimutan yung inyong FBD. Okay? Now, kahit ganito lang siya kasimple, kahit ulitin mo lang siya, kasi basically yun na din naman siya, ulitin niyo lang. Para meron tayong schematic diagram. Sa mga problem set ninyo, sa inyong mga, sa inyong mga exams. Ano? Okay, so schematic diagram natin. Point of origin O. Ano? Sabi natin, this is a t is equal to 0. And when t is equal to 0, S natin is equal to 0. Ano? So after an elapsed time, t is equal to 3 seconds, nandito na yung ating sasakyan. Sorry. Yan, nandito na yung ating sasakyan. Ano, nandito na yung kotse. Ito yung ating vehicle, yung kotse yan ha. Ano? So, ano yung hinahanap natin dyan? Basically, we need to account for yung kanyang displacement S. Displacement at saan? At t is equal to 3 seconds. Ano, ganun din kung ano yung kanyang acceleration. At t is equal to 3 seconds. Kasi given ka dito ng kanyang velocity na 3t squared plus 2t in feet per second. Ano, so basically, ito na yung ating schematic diagram. Clear po tayo dun sa ating schematic diagram. Clear po tayo so far sa sequence ng ating problems. Ano? Saan ang ating solution? So after na ating schematic diagram, we proceed na with our solution. At kung paano mo nilagay yung iyong mga unknown, ganun din yung sequence ng pag-solve mo sa kanya. Starting with A. Solving for S at t is equal to 3 seconds. Right? Paano natin siya sosolvein? Let's revert back dun sa ating general equations. Di ba meron tayong velocity is equal to ds over dt. Meron tayong acceleration I equal to dv over dt. Ano, nandiyan din yung ating ads is equal to vdv. Sir, kapag ka po binigyan tayo ng ganitong mga equation forms, ano po yung pwede natin gawin? When binigyan kayo ng mga equation forms ng ating mga variables, ng ating mga values like the velocity, the acceleration, ano, most often, if not all of the time, ano, yung magiging approach natin dyan is calculus-based. Ano, so mag-i-integrate kayo dyan. Mag-i-integrate kayo or mag-differentiate kayo. Ano ba yung sinabi natin dito kanina? Para makuha mo yung velocity coming from yung sa ating displacement, kunin mo yung kanyang first time derivative. Pag naman, kukunin mo yung acceleration, kukunin mo yung kanyang first time derivative ng velocity. Ano? O paano naman kapag babalik? Paano kapag binigyan ka ng velocity? Pag i-revert back mo siya, di ba yung kabaliktaran niya, i-integrate mo siya? So, i-integrate mo naman siya, taking into consideration yung upper and lower limits natin. At since given naman yung upper and lower limits natin dito, for our time, ano, as well as the lower limits natin for our initial position, which is at 0, magagamit natin itong approach na to. Okay? And doing just that, gawin natin yun na now. Velocity is equal to ds over dt. ds is equal to v dt, where v is equal to 3t squared plus 2t. Pwede natin itong i-substitute dito sa value natin na to. Ano? Leaving us with ds is equal to v. Wala na palang v. 3t squared plus 2t dt. Ano? So para madali-dali nating tignan, i-distribute natin to. ds is equal to 3t squared dt plus 2t dt. Ano yung mapapansin mo na dyan? Pwede na natin siyang i-integrate kasi it's a function of the position natin at the left side ng ating equation, and it's a function of the time sa right side ng ating equation. It's just a matter of applying na lang yung ating upper and lower limits. So para dito sa left side ng ating equation, gamitin natin yung mga variables natin. Same naming scheme para hindi tayo masyadong nalilito. Ano? S sub F, baliktad. S sub O and S sub F. Ganun din dito. 0, 0, T, T. Sir, bakit hindi nyo pa po dinirect na substitute yung 0 dito? Ano? Tsaka dinirect na substitute yung 3 dito para dire-diretso. Masanay tayo na ang ating gagawin is mag-substitute muna tayo ng variables. Then, we work our way hanggang sa makuha natin yung ating working equation. Pag nakuha na natin yung working equation natin, saka tayo mag-substitute para kompleto yung ating solution. That way, less prone kayo sa mistakes. Kasi kapag ka nagda-direct substitute kayo, minsan mali yung inyo na i-substitute. Hindi pala yun para doon. So kapag ka nagsimula kayo sa general equation, hindi kayo gaanong malilito. Ano? At for the sake din ng completeness nitong ating presentation nitong ating equation. Okay? So doing just that, simplify na natin to ano. This is as simple as cancellation lang, tapos ito, the same formula na ginamit natin kanina nung nag-integrate tayo ano. So this is S sub F, S sub O. Ito naman kabila, i-factor out natin yung constant na 3, numerical constant 3. Then, T raised to, so 2 plus 1, cube, all over 3. Ibig sabihin, pwede natin itong makancel. Ano, pag finactor out natin, leaving us with T and 0 sa upper and lower limits. Then, dito naman sa kabila, 2 multiplied by T and plus 1, 1 plus 1 squared all over 2. Pwede din nating makancel out, T and 0. Continuing, simplifying further, S sub F minus S sub O is equal to, ano na meron tayo dito? T cube minus 0 plus T squared minus the same 0. Ano? Simplifying further, S sub F is equal to S sub O plus T cube plus T squared. Where? Dito muna tayo or dito tayo mag-substitute. Meron na tayo nitong ating working equation. Ano, dito na tayo mag-substitute where S sub O nga natin ay 0 and T is equal to 3 seconds. Ano? So S sub F natin or S at T is equal to 3 seconds. This is equal to 0 plus 3 raised to 3 plus 3 raised to 2. Ano yung sagot natin dyan? S at T is equal to 3 seconds. Ano po yung sagot natin? Paki-calculate, then paki-type naman po yung ating mga sagot for our participation. $36. How about yung iba? Ano nakuha? 36 feet. Very good. Very good sa mga nagsagot. But huwag niyong kakalimutan yung ating units. Ano? Hindi lang basta 36. 36 feet. Okay, very good ah. So ang sagot natin dito, 36 feet. Very good. This is the final answer na natin for A. So check na tayo sa A. We can proceed na to B. Solving for B. Solving for B. Solving for acceleration at T is equal to 3 seconds. Na-revert back ulit tayo dito sa ating sinulat. Meron tayong binigay na velocity. Kukunin natin na acceleration. Ibig sabihin, if a first time derivative na lang natin yung binigay na value sa atin ng ating velocity para makuha natin yung acceleration. Ano? Kasi yun yung ating sequence. Now, solving for acceleration is equal to dv all over dt, where velocity nga natin ay 3t squared plus 2t. Acceleration, substituting na ito is equal to d over dt ng 3t squared plus 2t. O, distribute natin para mas malinaw. Acceleration or particularly acceleration at t is equal to 3 seconds is equal to d over dt ng 3t squared plus d over dt ng 2t. O ngayon, paano natin i-derivative ito? Ano yung formula natin na ginagamit? Di ba itong term na ito, very similar siya dito, itong d over dt ng 3t squared. Similar siya dito. d over dx ng x raised to n. Di ba similar siya dito? Similar, right? Nakikita ba yung similarity? Okay lang. How about yung iba? Nakikita ba? Okay lang. So paano ba natin siya sinisimplify? Ano ba yung formula natin dito? Di ba ito kabaliktaran kapag ini-integrate natin? Ito ay n, the exponent, multiplied by x raised to n minus 1. So ito lang yung i-apply natin dito para ma-simplify natin. Nare-recall po ba yon? Differential calculus. Okay lang? How about yung iba? Nare-recall? Yung paggawa ng derivative? So yon, recall natin yun Acceleration natin at t is equal to 3 seconds is equal to, i-apply na natin yun So yung ating numerical constant 3, factor out, multiplied by n. Ano yung n natin? 2. Multiplied by x natin, t, raised to n minus 1. 2 minus 1. Plus, numerical constant 2, multiplied by exponent 1, multiplied by t, raised to exponent yung 1 minus 1. Simplify natin. Acceleration acceleration at t is equal to 3 seconds is equal to 3 times 2 multiplied by, ano ba itong 2 minus 1 natin? Di ba ito ay equal sa t raised to 1. Ano? Plus, how about this one? 2 multiplied by, ano ba yung multiplied by 1 multiplied by t raised to 0? Ano ba yung anything raised to 0? Di ba siya ay equal to 1? That means, naliliteran na lang natin dito ay 2. Okay lang? Nakuha po natin kung bakit nag-arrive tayo doon. Okay lang? Okay lang tayo doon, ha? Dito natin ngayon nakuha na natin yung ating general equation. Dito natin i-substitute yung ating mga given values where tingnan natin is 3 seconds. Solving this, A at t is equal to 3 seconds is equal to 3 times 2 multiplied by 3 plus 2. Ano yung sagot natin dyan? Acceleration at t is equal to 3 seconds. It is equal to, pakitype po ng ating mga sagot for our participation. 20 feet per second squared. How about yung iba? Ano nakuha ng iba? 20 feet per second squared. 20 feet per second squared. So, 20 feet per second squared. Ano? Ito po yung ating final answer. Ano po ba yung kailangan pa natin sa ating problem na to? Kailangan po natin ng conclusion. So, iyon naman conclusion natin is as necessary lang. Lalo na kapag yung mga final answers natin na nakuha, kailangan nating mag-provide ng konting context sa kung paano tayo nag-arrive dun sa mga sagot na yun. Ano? Okay? Clear tayo dun sa ating sample problem number 1? Any questions? Any questions so far? Okay, very good. So maaga naman tayo matapos. Ibig sabihin, tayo ay makakapag-dismiss naman ng maaga. So more or less, maybe 20 minutes pa tayo. So ngayon, ano yung gagawin natin sunod? Meron pa tayo ditong 3 sample problem. Gusto kong sagutan ninyo yung sample problem number 2 at saka 4. Kasi very similar lang yung approach niya kagaya sa sample problem number 1. Yung medyo kaiba lang yung sample problem number 3. Yung sample problem number 3 kasi natin na ito, yung approach kasi natin dito, yung paggagamitin na natin yung ating kinematic equations, fundamental equations. Medyo algebraic approach na yung meron tayo dito. Kasi napapansin nyo, walang mga equations na ibinigay sa atin dito. Puro numerical values yung binigay sa atin dito. Now, that being said, try to solve yung 2 and 4 ha, pero isosolve pa din naman natin siya next meeting pag tayo ay nag-face-to-face. Okay? Let me just add up lang ulit yung ating nag-record ng ating meet. Once na okay na, as soon as possible, as soon as pwede na, baka pwede natin i-upload na sa ating classroom yung ating recording na yon para ma-access ng iba kung meron mang hindi nakaabot ng ating klase or kung meron mang nag-absent or anything or para mababalik-balikan ninyo kung medyo may malabo sa inyo. Okay, thank you very much for that. Again, bago tayo mag-dismiss, meron po ba tayong question pa? Any more questions? Wala na? Okay, wala na. Okay, so I think wala namang question. Kung may question man, tanong natin next week. Ipunin natin next week kasi next week tayo ay face-to-face class. Ngayon, naging clear naman po ba yung discussion natin ng 1.0, Introduction, and 2.1, Rectilinear Kinematics? Okay lang? How about yung iba? Okay lang? Okay, good? Okay, good. So if that is the case, I am assuming naman na naging clear sa ating lahat kasi kita ko naman na lahat kayo ay positive yung feedback. So if that is the case, and okay na, wala nang questions, I will see you again next week. Pag tayo ay face-to-face class na. So okay na po muna tayo for today. Pwede na tayong ma-dismiss. Thank you everyone for listening. I will see you again next week. Pwede na ma-dismiss.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.